Hey, you have just tuned into the best talk show right here in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. It's gonna be off the chain. I'm so glad that you have joined us at the LA McNair Show. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be phenomenal. Buckle your seatbelts, get you some popcorn, get you some tissue. We are about to take this journey together. Let's go right into the set. Well, welcome everybody. How's everybody doing? I don't know if I was in church, I would probably say this is the day that the Lord has made, and I'll rejoice. But I'm not in church. So how y'all feel today? Y'all good? Y'all gonna loosen up a little bit? Just a little bit? Just a little bit? Because probably everybody. Who did that? Oh, that was you. You know, and one of the reasons why you need to loosen up a little bit is because everybody wants to be it. We just act humble and act like, oh no, I don't want to be it, but I think everybody wants to be it. So I'm it today. You can be it tomorrow. So that sounds really weird. But anyway, we've been talking about Help My Fatherless Child. And this is the last show about Help My Fatherless Child. There are so many issues and traumas that being without a father in the house can bring to a kid. And I think we've been zeroing in on the kid, but I don't think we talked about the trauma that it brings to the mother or the single father, you know. But today, I think we've talked about, for the past two shows, we've talked about the issues. Now I think we need to talk about the solution. And talk about ways that we can bring some healing and some restoration. Is that all right? Yes. So with that being said, I was fatherless, and with me being fatherless, it actually pulled some pretty unique things out of me. I learned how to be independent. I learned how to make my own and make my way. But I had the help of those that were in my community to help me do so. But today, you heard from me all show, last show rather, but today I got a friend with me today, and her name is Dr. Stephanie Smith. Would y'all stand up and clap for Dr. Smith, please? Y'all can clap till she get here. You gonna jump or you gonna come up down this? You look like you could have jumped.
I'm a little clumsy, so I'm gonna.
Well, you can. Dr. Reddy almost fell.
That
seat got you too.
Yeah.
That seat got you too. So this is Dr. Stephanie and Stephanie Smith, and I'm gonna break my own protocol for a minute.
Okay.
You said something that's been ringing in my head for the last 10 minutes. She said she kept running into witches. That's what you said.
What?
You kept running into witches. So I'm thinking, witches, people that are in the occult. And what I want to ask you is, right before we dive into what we're going to dive into, why do young people go to the occult? What is that? What's the meaning of that?
I think people want a place to belong, you know, and they're looking for a family. And, you know, there's lots of groups out there, the occult, gangs, mafias, right? Like, there's lots of groups out there that's willing to take in people who are vulnerable to exploit them, right?
Oh.
And control
Wow.
them.
Wow.
So I think that one of the things that's important in our current society is just to encourage people to come into community and come into family. And for us as families to make sure that, you know, we're making time for our own, right? Because we get so busy sometimes making a living, right? That sometimes we kind of miss out on the other things. So I just think that there's a lot of things in the world out there that can draw people in, and we just really need to focus on taking care of our own. That's the message that I would put out there.
Well, this was not in my plan, but you said gangs, the occult. What about churches? That's where I'm at, churches. And sometimes when people are trying to find a place to belong, that could be an open door for spiritual abuse.
Yeah, one of the things I would love to say, and you know, I hope I don't ruffle any feathers, but
We'll edit you out.
and maybe I do want to ruffle some feathers.
We're gonna
I
take
don't
it
know.
right out.
But you know, anytime you have a place where women are voiceless or children are voiceless, there's opportunities, right, for someone again to take advantage. And so, I think that any person can be vulnerable in any setting. It doesn't have to be somewhere, you know, extreme, right? Like even in Walmart, you know. So what we know about people being sexually abused is oftentimes it's someone they know. You know, the elderly get exploited financially by people they know. People get robbed by neighbors, right? And so we're looking for the kind of scary things, but in all actuality, it's all around us, right? And so, I would just say, be aware that if you can't have a voice, then you're already in a vulnerable place.
Now, let me say this. If we're going to act like they're not here for a minute, and you counseling me, I'm receiving some services from you, what would you say to the Larry McNair that is in elementary school, and I'm outside playing with a neighbor, and the neighbor throws a bat and hits a metal bat rather and hits me upside my head, and I got an egg sticking out my head, and I have to go to school, and I know that people was wondering, where did that egg come from? Oh, it was big. It was humongous. When I say big, I mean big. I look back, I said, ooh, that was big. And then I had a speech impediment, and my dad is in, I have it now, but back then it was really worse. And my dad is incarcerated, and I'm trying to find my way. Now I'm acting out, I'm cussing out family members at a young age. What would you say to me? They ain't here right now.
Okay, what would I say to you?
Help me for a minute.
Well, first I would say, do you want to get on the floor? Because that's what children do, right?
Yeah.
I would say, you want to get on the floor?
Yeah.
Do you want a snack, right? Because at the basic human level, what we really need is to relate to people where they are, right? Mm-hmm. And then I would say to you, your worth is already there. You don't have to earn it.
Oh.
You don't have to go find it, right? It was there in you all along.
Wow.
You just didn't know it.
Wow.
And so, like, if I had a diamond ring, right, and I dropped it on the floor and I left it, it wouldn't mean that ring lost its value, right?
Oh.
The value would still be there. And if someone picked it up and they didn't see the value, that still doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the ring. Because the next person would take the ring and be really excited. and really happy,
Don't do this in here now.
right?
Don't do this.
And so you
Don't
were
trigger
there.
me.
You were there all along. You were there, and you were in there, and your worth was in there, and you don't have to go find it because it's there.
Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that?
This is what I do. I think everybody needs to hear that. I think it's the truth, right? And I think, as Christians, as providers, it's like people that go out and try to make the world better. What we really need to understand is if we can start with truth, we don't all have to agree with each other. If we just start with truth, it brings people together, right? And it unites us, and we are stronger together, and we're better together. And I'm concerned that right now there's a lot of things that are pulling people apart, and we need to come together.
So you're telling me that when I was going through and getting in all that trouble, you're telling me that my 57 acres of land was already in me.
Yes.
My ministry was already in me.
It was already there.
My family was already in me. My gifts was already in me.
All along.
All along. And somebody is sitting in here right now, looking at me right now, saying, wow. But the truth of the matter is, you can wow us too. If you live in your truth, or accept your truth?
Yeah.
And what I've learned is I learned how to fake.
Yeah.
Because faking gets you more of what you think is love, but it's not really love. Because if you're not producing it from your authentic self, it's probably not worth you you putting the time in.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking that all of that was in me. And somebody asked me, they said, do you go to therapy? do you go to therapy? When you talk, your thoughts are so well put together. You don't even look like, you don't even appear like the stories that you tell about you, that you've told about yourself. And they said, where did you go? Now, this is probably going to mess up somebody's theology, what I'm getting ready to say. I went in me, because greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. And I had to tap into who I was, not what you told me, not what they thought I was, but really who I was. And so I realized that when I was put into behavior class, this is funny. My mom took me to Pine Belt for therapy. And so when she took me to Pine Belt,
Did you get therapized?
she got therapized. she got therapized when it was over. The lady walks out first, and her eyes red. She's a white woman, so she turned red when she cried.
Yeah.
And you know about that?
About turning red?
Yeah, when you cry. Anyway, and so my mom said, well, how did it go? I was supposed to be counseling him, and he ended up talking to me. And I was just happy to get the heck up out of there.
Yeah.
But I realized that that even in what looks like trash, there's treasure. And so I told my mom when I got in the car, I said, don't you take me back there no more, because the next person you take me back to, they're going to be crying too. She took me in there to get therapy, but I ended up giving the therapist therapy without what y'all got, a license or something?
Yeah. Hopefully, right?
Wait, Do you got a
Oh, I
license?
sure do.
Oh, you got I know you got an office, but you got a license.
I got a license.
You know? And so, yeah, so tell us this. We can't go through all of the different things that one can go through, the traumas or the disappointment that one can go through, but what would you say would be the beginning of healing for someone that doesn't have anyone to help them heal?
Yeah, I think the first step is that you have to feel safe, right? And one of the things we know about kids is sometimes they can't even cry or show their feelings or emotions until they feel safe, you know, and that's why a lot of people wait years to start that journey, just because they don't want to be vulnerable. They don't want to, like, you know, open themselves up because they're afraid that someone's going to, you know, speak against them or attack them. And so the first thing to do is to find safety. That's number one. And then the second thing to do is to recognize that you don't have to have it all together. None of us have it all together. And I was at a conference recently. One of the things that I heard was that stars don't shine, they burn, right? And some of the people that we think that have it most together, they're really suffering the most.
Oh.
Because they can't ask for help. And so that would be the next thing, is to know that it's okay to ask for help. And you know, when you're able to ask for help, what it does is it tells the next person you can ask for help too, right? And so it just generates.
You break the ice.
Yes, it generates a healing with not only yourself but the people around you. And this is kind of separate but different. What's interesting, you know, the people that are most happy and most content are not the people who own a lot or have a lot of money, right, or have a lot of, you know, credibility.
Watch out now, Dr. Stephanie.
It's actually people who live in communities where they have other people around them. Oftentimes they have meals together, they cook, they grow their own food. The elderly get up and walk around and move around. They take care of the children help, you know, and there's this sense of integrating, right, all the generations together, and having a gathering spot. And we find that the people, they call it blue zones, where this is occurring, and people live longer and they're happier and they're less sick. These people are not wealthy, and they do not have what a lot of people here actually even have in America. And there's some spots here in America where it occurs, but they're living in community, and they're not tied to their gadgets, and they're not trying to be, you know, perfect, right? They're just living in the everyday life. And I think that's where we need to go back to. We just need to go back to the everyday, and we need to be in communion with the people around us. And
Now that's called the blue zone.
It's the blue zones, yes. You can look it up. It's where people live longer, they're healthier.
What's the red zone then? Is there a red zone? I mean,
That's high blood pressure.
oh, hypertension. Dr. Stephanie, you're a doctor, hypertension.
Yeah, it's funny because people like to tell me you're not a real doctor. I'm like, that's fine.
You ain't no real doctor?
Well, you know, I'm not a medical doctor.
That mean you ain't no real doctor? What that mean?
Well, remember, I can just be a person. I don't have to be.
Okay. Well, let's just say it's a lot of folk that ain't real. Some of them sitting in here right now. I would point them out, you know, but
I'm going to have to bring my papers next time.
somebody watching it ain't real. Now, you said something earlier that made this lizard crawl up my pants. That's why I was screaming. You all right? Ooh, something hit her. Y'all felt that? Lord, something hit her. But anyway, you said something that got me. You said that you don't have to have a whole lot to be happy.
Yeah, I mean, I personally would like to have a whole lot, but
Now what I was trying to do, you act like, well, can't say that. You need to edit this out, okay? But you act like you black. Because I was just about to say, A whole lot may not make you happy.
Yeah.
That's between you and who made you. But me?
But there's a difference between wants and needs, right? And I will tell you.
Uh-oh, now she finna go back to.
I've helped a lot of different types of people, and what I've seen is money does not fix things. Sometimes actually it makes it worse. And so, you know, we do want to do well and to move ahead,
Just
right?
for some folk, right? Not everybody.
Well, I
Because money
think
makes me really happy. Matter of fact, my attitude was real bad when I ain't had no money.
I'm going to tell you something. It may be hard to hear.
Okay.
Okay. So, and I know because I've been there, the most, I think, happiest, sacredest place is when you're able to be with your small children and you're growing your family, right? Because they say you're only happiest as your unhappy child, right? And as they age, right, all these other stresses are small when you look at, is my baby okay? You know, is my grandchildren okay? You know, who's going to be living in the house with me? Who's not going to be, you know, and especially in the world that we're living in today because things are getting more expensive. It's a lot going on, right? And we're even seeing more people move back toward intergenerational living. And people have been doing that in other countries. We haven't done that as much here in the United States, but there's some benefits to that. So I say all that to say there's a difference between, you know, having things and being content. And in contentment, there's peace. So what you really want is peace.
Well, I got peace, Dr. Stephanie. I have peace. It's just sometimes it's just you know. Anyway.
And that's okay. It's okay to want to, you know, have goals and get ahead. That's good things.
Yeah. Wow. So I do know that I kept my 1-year-old today for 2-3 hours by myself. And I had just changed him because
Where's the mama?
I don't think she's here today. And I had just changed him. And I thought I was going to have to call you for some therapy before we got here tonight. But I smelled something.
Not so fresh.
It was not fresh. And so I said, oh, we have one of those. But the problem is he waited till she walked out the door.
Yeah.
And so I opened the pamper and I said, that ain't nothing. That's an espresso shot. This is literally nothing. So I thought I was going to brag when she got back home. Uh-huh. Well, 10 minutes after I changed him, he really let go. And me and him had a long talk. Why did you do that? Like, I just changed you, you know. And, but I noticed that he would not get away from me. Normally when everybody's in the house, he likes to play and all of that kind of stuff. And he wouldn't move. He sat right here to my left for a while. And I realized that he was enjoying my presence. Mm-hmm. And I was enjoying his presence.
That's right.
And what mattered to me was he moving, he's breathing, he's healthy. And that was like $1 million to me. Boom. That was like $1 million to me. And we had a conversation, I don't know when it was, sometime this week. And the conversation was, I don't understand how people, and it's just my opinion, no disclaimer or nothing, but I don't understand how you don't love what you brought into this world. I can't even fathom. I need security to take somebody up out of here right now. Just take her. But anyway, I could not understand. Out of everything that I've seen in ministry, life, my greatest accomplishment to me is Jayla, Cade, and Teray. And that's what I enjoy the most. Now, they small now, but that's what I enjoy. So I'm going to assume you the doc. Am I in the blue zone?
Well, these are your people, right? I mean, you feel safe.
Yeah, I ain't fin. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, those are my people. Yeah, yeah,
Are you going to get some good food afterwards?
yeah.
I mean, what's awesome, though, is really a very simple thing, right? I mean, this is not difficult to do. This is easy stuff to do.
So you have to find. So stop looking for joy or happiness without, and just simply look around
Yes.
where you are right now.
Yes.
And the small things, you'll be, oh,
Yeah.
that's what I've been looking for.
Yes.
Right there.
And I'll share something if it's okay. So I know we're getting a little off topic, but one of the things I learned early on is when I really wanted something and I wanted to pray for something and I wanted something to change, I learned that I needed to physically change my space where I opened up a place that what I was wanting, what I was praying for, wishing for, could come into me, right? And so I would do that, and sometimes I would look like, well, dang, I'm sitting here and it's still
Ooh,
looking
that
the
was
same.
close. I thought you
know?
were about to say something else.
But I learned that's a spiritual truth. If you physically move some things around, right, and you believe, you take the first step in your faith, and then it can come and feel where you reside. And so
Now, what
that's
do you
an
mean when you
example.
say physically move things around?
Well, in your environment, I mean, what you just said, if you only have what you have right now and you take care of it and you love what you have and you are, getting up every day and moving forward, you're actually doing your part to move into the next season, right? We have seasons, you know that, right? And so you live in your season and then the next season comes.
I really thought you was talking about your house is dirty.
Oh, well, my house can always use some good cleaning, right? Because I have 5 kids. Just being real with you.
Well, I'm not talking about anybody. No, those people are not here, but some people, they look like they live out their car. They don't live out of their car. They have a house with a garage.
Yeah.
And their car is cluttered. You think they can clean up their car too?
Well, I mean, the thing is, we don't know what people are carrying around, right?
What you mean?
We don't know what they're dealing with, what they're toting inside. And so one of the things I think that will help everyone is just recognizing that there's these silent battles that people tote around, right? And we don't know what it is. And I'm gonna be honest, I've been that one with the bad, messy car, right? But I think we can learn and grow and change, and so that's part of all of this, right? And that's why we're talking about these things. We don't have to stay in the situation that we're in. We have choices, and every day we get a chance to make a different choice, right? And
we have choices.
everyone has choices.
So the excuse of what happened to me when I was a little girl, when I'm older now, I have a choice?
Well, you did not choose that.
No, you didn't choose the trauma, but can you choose the healing?
It's not your fault. You will have to choose the healing.
Wait, you say you will have to choose the healing?
Yes, you cannot be healed if you're not open to being healed.
Oh. So one more thing. Healing can hurt, can it?
Well, yeah,
Are you a doctor?
for sure.
Oh, okay, because you act like you didn't know. Healing can stink, maybe.
It's hard. Difficult.
It's hard. It's
Yes.
difficult. So healing hurts. Healing's hard. Healing can stink. But if you want it, you'll go through all of that so you can get to the other side.
Well, if you ask for help, right, and you surround yourself with people that are willing to help you, and you stay in it, it gets better. And there's this term, it's called post-traumatic growth. And what that means is we can't undo what happens to us, right? But we can grow and we can transform beyond what occurred.
Now, one more thing. What do you say to someone that's looking today that have a problem with trusting people? Is their healing just tapped into
Well, I would
surrounding?
say if someone has problems trusting people, I would say they probably have reasons for that, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And so we would want to talk about that and, you know, validate that these things occurred, right? And then where do we go from here? Like, how do you find people that you can trust? And it's like a little bit at the time, right? And so when you're trying to see if you can trust someone, you give them little pieces of nuggets, right? And if they do well with that, you can try something else. You don't go out and throw out your deepest, darkest secrets, right? You just take baby steps, a little bit at the time. And just like healing, you know, you're not going to get it all together in one day. It occurred over a period of time, and it's going to take you some time. When you think about like a baby, right, and they start learning to walk, and they fall down, and they get up, and they fall down. And we don't go over there and kick the baby and say, "You stupid baby, you keep falling down," right? We don't do that.
I mean, some people do. They need to go to jail.
So we encourage the baby, right? And so when you're in that place of healing, first of all, you know, you might need to step back and kind of lighten your load, because if you're dealing trauma, doing trauma work is hard and it takes a lot out of you. So you might need to loosen your load a little bit, right? Or to get some help. And make sure you have someone that understands what they're doing and they're going to be with you and continue to stay with you, right? You don't want someone that's going to be like, "Yeah, tell me about all your problems," and then, "Oh, it's time for me to play golf," right? So you want to make sure you've got that right person there, but it can get better. It can get better.
It can get better. It can absolutely get better. Listen, if you want to, it's up to you. If you say, "I have went through everything that I can go through, I'm ready for a change," all you got to do is this simple thing, and I promise you, I'll do the rest. If you text 228-200-1965, I'll say it again, 228-200-1965, one word, healing, I will send you everything that Dr. Stephanie Smith then said and that she didn't have time to say, if you're ready, all right? So it's completely up to you. I had fun with you today.
Yeah.
I feel like it was short, but I feel like I had fun with you today.
Yeah.
And
it's a good time.
we're going to.
Are we out of time already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Right now I'm borrowing time, but had fun with you today, and we are going to take this. We only have 30 minutes here.
Okay.
But in September there's a life class we can take all night if we desire. And everything that you have on the inside of you, you can give. You a preacher?
No.
You sure? Now she want to laugh. Ain't nothing funny. What's
Well,
funny?
I mean, I think we all share, right? Like where we go. I mean, I think that we all put into.
You're doing it right now.
Yeah.
You just did it. But anyway, does anybody have any questions for Dr. Stephanie? I ain't taking none, but if you want to ask her about 3 people, then we can do that.
So he talked about in the beginning when he was a child and things happened as a child. How, as a child, would you first know that you're not in your truth? How would you know to reach for your truth? Like you're acting out, but you have no clue the things that's bothering you. How would you?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because children don't have that, right? They depend on others, on adults around them. And so that's something that we as adults need to be more aware of when we see a child suffering, right? To offer help and to come out of ourselves and to take the time. And here's what I've learned with working with people who struggle with trauma, children, even adults. They can't always say what they need. You know, if they've been beaten down or if they're struggling, sometimes the words won't even come out. And so maybe they just need you to sit with them and to just give them chance to just get the words up, just to find their voice, right? Because we can't expect someone to have a voice that has, you know, been discouraged to do so. So I think making time with them and, you know, really just kind of being a steward of the world we live in and the people around us, right? I mean, really, kids are helpless if you think about it.
Help them find their voice.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah. And we need to find our voice, because if we speak our truth, right, then we're able to change our environment. It may be slow, it may be in little pieces, but we have the opportunity to do that.
And I need somebody to be patient with me.
Yes. You probably need a lot of patience.
I can't say what I want to say. I can't say what I want to say, but
We all do. It's not just you. We all do.
Just know, I ain't going to say what I want to say because Ditto is here. Ditto. Did you hear what I said? Ditto is here?
Yeah, what a small world.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Y'all don't know nothing about Ditto. Y'all just stay where y'all at. Come on. What? 2 more. Okay.
I really like when you talked about creating a safe place, because a person, even think back to my childhood, to feel safe for a child is for them, right? But then, like you spoke about the trust, they have to feel that not only are they safe, but they are with someone that they are building a trust with, because I know that the trust has to be built. Right. It's not something that comes automatic with somebody that has been traumatized. That's right. And so I like when you brought out those two things, because the children are different species, that's what I would say. And to have those two things, so they will feel confident, opening. Yeah, so yeah.
That's exactly right. And I think the last thing I'll say is, you know, when someone's really struggling and suffering, sometimes the best thing we can do is just sit with them. You know, there's sometimes words don't help. Sometimes we just need our presence, and we just need to sit with someone and to, you know, it's hard, right? It's hard to see someone suffering, because we get a little bit of that, right? If someone is suffering, we can feel that. We know that. We experience that with that person, right? Not in the same capacity, but we bear witness to that suffering. And that's why a lot of people, they can't do that, right? They're just not willing to do that. And so if you're just willing to sit with someone and bear witness to their hurt and their pain, you have done a great deed.
So my son Kate is here. All he wants to do is hug me. Dad, I love you, for no apparent reason at all. If I'm in the bathroom, he just comes in. The door can be locked, he still gets in. I can be outside on the phone. Here he comes. Dad, I just want to be out here. He sounds like he's safe with me.
Yes. Sounds like you're doing something right.
Oh, yeah. And so every night there's a fight. Who's going to watch a movie with Dad? Nobody. I don't watch a movie. I mean, you know, every night. Come on, let's watch a movie. I want to watch a movie with my dad. I want to watch a movie with my dad. I want to sleep with my dad. From Jayla to Cade and now to Ray, climbs over from his bed to my bed to, you know, and he wants to lay on me and things like that. So I feel safe with them. I think they feel safe with me too.
That's right. That's right.
I got one more. Come on.
So what would you say to a young person, of myself, 23, who is trying to regulate their emotions from their childhood, but they're stuck in this phase where they're being pressured by society? Well, you're an adult now, you should know how to regulate your emotions. When I spent over half of my life being a child, I've only been grown for 3 years.
Yes.
And I am now in that position when I act out, or you're acting like a child. Well, you're
You
not
better
being
get this
an
thrown
adult.
at you.
I'm 23.
Yes,
I don't know how to.
that's right.
I've been grown for 3 years now, I'm being labeled as an adult, so how do I guess, process that or begin to mature and heal without feeling like a victim, the victim mentality, because I'm trying to be this adult
Yeah.
that I've been a child for all
Right.
half of my life.
So we consider that emerging adults, and emerging adults are not supposed to have it all together and,
No.
and always be able to emotionally regulate, right?
Wow.
When I was 23, I couldn't emotionally regulate all the time, right? And it's okay even if you can't always emotionally regulate, you just can't like beat anybody up, right? That's kind of the rules, You can cry, you can be upset, you can be frustrated. And so, I would say find some people that know that can encourage you and put a safe circle around you so you can learn to emotionally regulate. That doesn't happen, the first time you become an adult. That's over a period of time. And I appreciate you being vulnerable and transparent about that, because a lot of people can't even admit it. And if you can't admit it, you sure can't do it, right?
You call everything.
You are still writing your story, right? You are still writing your story. Yeah.